Hey everybody, welcome to
Yeah, let it rain.
Beer,
Raindrops.
a skydiving podcast. What are you drinking today, Joe?
Mm-mm. Premix margarita.
You you seem to like the margaritas. I like
Yeah,
margaritas as
I
well.
do. I like tequila.
Mm-hmm.
Tequila.
Tequila, Don Julio, 1942. Like,
Jose Cuervo.
oh, oh,
Special.
oh, bro. Okay, all right,
Traditional special. The
okay.
tequila. It's all the same, man.
Oh, it's not. It's not
What'd
at
you say
all.
you liked?
Don Julio. The really good stuff is in 1942, but
They all do
no.
the same thing.
Well, yeah, they all get you fucked up. But, it depends on how it goes down.
Well, that's I like mixing it. Have you ever had tequila and pineapple juice?
No,
It's pretty good too. Tequila, pineapple juice,
I can
tequila.
imagine it would be.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm I'm more if I'm doing liquor, I'm more of a whiskey guy. Like I like whiskeys, I like old
Maybe.
fashions, I like whiskey sours. I'm a whiskey guy. It doesn't have to be fancy whiskey. Like I'm fine with just like makers, right? But I like whiskey.
I'm not a whiskey fan.
No.
Nope.
If it's not
Or any
whiskey,
dark liquor.
you're not into any of the dark liquor. Huh?
No, I don't know why. Just I'm a different person.
If it's not whiskey, then it's probably tequila. I like tequila. Yeah.
Tequila.
Tequila. So my wife got picked up some beers today, so I'm having a beer. Old Man Winter, Southern
Oh
Tier.
man, winter.
It's a winter ale. I guess winter's here, man. It's
Yeah,
getting there,
whatever.
anyways.
Global warming is fake. Global warming's not real.
I hope you're joking. I don't know if we can be friends if you're not joking.
I don't know, man. Nobody can deny that at this point. Hey,
It literally. So it's November right now, right?
yeah.
I live in northwestern Pennsylvania, literally a half a mile from Lake Erie. Like I could, if I were stronger, I could throw a ball into like a baseball into Lake Erie, right? It has been 82 degrees this month
Yeah.
at my house in
Yeah.
November. That is insane.
Yep.
That is absolutely insane.
Pretty
Uh,
stupid.
y- yeah, no, climate change is real for sure.
Remember the blizzard of '93? Or was it '92?
No, it was 93 because it was my 10th birthday, and I was gonna go to Chuck E. Cheese with my friends, and I got canceled because of the
Wait, how old
stupid
are you?
blizzard. I'm 41. I was born in 83.
Okay. Yeah,
There
you're
was a
like 40
blizzard in 93 on
years
St.
younger
Patrick's
than me.
Day, which is my birthday. Yeah.
We had like 3 weeks or a month off of school. I remember that.
I don't remember having that much time off, but I remember my birthday getting canceled, and that pissed me right off. I'd never been to Chuck E. Cheese, and I wanted to go to Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese is a long thought memory these days.
Dude, it's so gross. There's one here in Erie.
Is there
There's
still one of
They
the
still
open?
have one. Yeah,
Nice.
and they just remodeled it.
Oh my goodness.
Like I drove past it the other day,
How dare they?
and like the outside is all redone. It's so disgusting. It's like the most disgusting place ever.
Gross.
Yeah. So with winter or fall, I guess, happening, uh, the season's over, man.
No,
Skydive
the season's
Pennsylvania is
never over.
closed for the year.
The season's never over.
Well, if
Just
you
gotta drive
take
south, man.
take things into your own hands, you can make stuff
Mm-hmm.
happen. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Hopefully next weekend. I looked at the weather forecast. It keeps
what's it looking
changing.
like?
Mm, decent, but it'll
Decent.
change again. It'll change again. I'm sure by the time it gets
Yeah,
here.
yeah. So you're talking about going to Orange.
Yeah, they fly Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and sometimes Monday.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're not
So
open during the week anymore because
I
technically season's kind of over, like you said.
Well, I think they're only Orange is only closed in January, right?
Mm,
Don't they
I
get
don't even know
down
if it's
to
closed
just?
then.
I thought they got down to just like Saturday and Sunday, and then we're like closed in January, but then opened back up in
I don't know.
February, and
You might be
started
right.
adding more days or whatever.
You might be right.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems to be what I remember from when I called them last year because I was
I
trying to.
jumped down there early this season, early spring. That's
What
the
month
first
was
time.
that? March
Huh?
or April? Was that like
No, it
March or something?
was April because I went to Europe short, like right after that. And that was in May.
Fucked your heel
No.
up.
Yeah, everybody knows that story.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the first time I jumped there in probably 8 years, 10 years, something like that.
So I did get the okay from Erica to
Mm.
join you to Orange, to go into Orange. Uh,
All
you
right.
know, if you're down with that. So uh, it'll be a new drop zone for me. I'm excited.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't been there, man.
It's nice. You like it?
I've only jumped at Skydive Pennsylvania, Cleveland Skydive Center, and then when we were at Waynesburg.
They have they have a caravan, super caravan. Sometimes they have an otter. I don't know what they're flying right now.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna be doing tracking jumps, right? You're gonna be jumping with your tracking suit.
Probably I'm gonna do one and then pull the fly sight. As long as I'm hitting 1 to 1 or more on a glide ratio, then I might only jump once. I just want
You're
to
gonna
get
drive
out.
that far just to jump once?
No, then I'll do whatever.
Oh, okay. I
I'm
was gonna say
saying I
Jesus
just want to.
Christ.
Yeah, no, I was checking some of my fly site data this past week, and I only have. I mean, I'd have to go back and dig through it because it gives you dates, but then it gives you funky times. The way the files save. So to find my fly site data, I had to go back through the right file. I had to go back through like my videos on my Insta360,
Yeah.
find the date, and then I went in to my fly site and pulled the day out and pulled those jumps out. So
That seems way too hard.
if I'd have just kept track of it, kind of like, you record a bunch of videos on your Insta360, but don't edit them forever, and then they just
Yeah.
sit on your camera.
Yeah. Dude, I have like two GoPros that I bought when I was a pilot to like film veteran flights. Cause I flew veterans around for free. I did like sightseeing flights
Mhm.
for veterans. And then the FAA. So like I had those I used those for like a month or two, right? And then the FAA took my medical. So I've got these
That's
GoPros
ridiculous.
sitting around. And then I bought an Insta360, the X3, when I started skydiving, thinking, oh yeah, I can put a camera on my helmet. No, can't do that. I gotta have 200 jumps.
Bum, good reason too.
Yeah, yeah. So I've got like all these GoPros and this 360 camera that just sitting there.
Yeah,
Like I'm not even really using. It kind of sucks.
you
Because
could
now
get
they have the
a.
X4, like, and my GoPros are like Hero 8s, so like they're old as crap now.
Oh, okay. Wait, Hero 8, you said?
Yeah.
Please hold.
All right. He's gonna pull out like a Hero 3. He's digging through drawers. What do you get?
Boom.
Oh, is that a one? Is that the original?
I have a one upstairs in a box somewhere. Ooh, where are we going? There we go.
I can't see it.
Hero
What's it
3,
say?
baby.
Here, I was right. Hero 3.
Boom. Yeah. The old Hero 3. I have a 1. I have a GoPro Hero 1 somewhere around here.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's crazy.
Yep. Yeah, that's how long.
I
It's
was
not that
actually,
long, but that's kind of one of the first cameras I jumped was a GoPro Hero 3.
I was actually thinking about selling my Hero 8s just because they're still worth like a little bit of money, and I'll
Yeah.
probably never use them because we have a 360 cameras
You
now.
think
You
you
know
get
what I
somebody
mean?
to buy them?
I don't know. I mean, $50 a piece or something. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know what they're worth. Like, I have no idea.
You know
You
what you
know?
should do is get the suction cup mounts and
Oh, I
just
have
mount
them.
them
I
on.
have I
Yeah,
have
just
all that crap.
mount them on the plane. Film everybody's exits,
Oh yeah, I could, I
and
guess.
then if
Yeah.
it falls off, who gives a
Yeah, who
shit?
cares? Yeah. I mean that's what I did. I had the suction cup mounts and I mounted them on the plane that I was
Yeah,
flying.
to the
You
plane.
know,
Yeah,
cuz I would do like interviews with the veterans that I was flying. So I'd have one on the panel facing us and then one on the ceiling facing out.
so you can see both
And
directions.
yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, it was all right. So you getting any jumps in lately?
No,
See, here's
not
the thing.
since the last base jump that I shared with you. That's it.
Are you talking about that now?
No.
Okay. All right.
I have not.
Okay.
That one
Fine.
is
You brought it up, not me, dude.
that's a selfish one that's not gonna get out.
All right. It it was awesome.
Yeah.
I will say that it was awesome.
Yep.
I did get some jumps in
When?
Saturday, last day of the season.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, that's the one Andrew had the two out. And the first, did you know
What?
that? Yeah, you didn't know that?
It must have
Yeah.
been later in the day.
Yeah.
It must have been
Yeah.
later in the afternoon
Andrew, what's his name?
because I
There's
I
two
did
Andrews, and I can never keep their last name straight. Knows them, maybe?
the new guy.
Yeah, the newer.
He had a 2 out.
Yeah, and
No way.
yeah, usually that's a user error
Yeah.
99% of the time. But somehow it was gear malfunction. I don't know if it was somehow rigged wrong or something, or somebody undid it and rigged it back up, or somebody undid it and then put it back on.
And that's a rental
But
gear too, man.
when he deployed his main, pulled his RSL and deployed.
How's that even possible? How's that
I
even
don't know.
possible?
I don't know, but as both his handles were still seated, cable's still in the. Yeah, so I don't know how. I don't know. I haven't talked to anybody about it since then.
Is there a video? I thought.
Ingram, Andrew Ingram. Well,
Oh,
there's
okay.
a
So
video, but
it's not the new guy. It's not the new guy then.
yeah, that's the newest. Oh, you mean the one that
Well,
just got his license? That's Eric.
no. So there's an Andrew
Yeah,
Noserum or whatever, like you were saying.
that's yep. He's
That
been jumping for a little while.
he,
Then there's
yeah.
Andrew Ingram, who I did his first AFF jump.
I don't know him.
He's the one. Yeah, jump 16.
I don't know him.
Yeah,
Okay.
jump number 16. There it
Oh
is.
shit. Okay, here it is. Look at that. 2 out. Look at that.
But I saw the video. I'm like, oh man, you handled that perfectly. Nice job. And then somebody else posted on Facebook. They're like, that's not how you handle that. Apparently, he unstowed his brakes and was
Ah,
steering his reserve. I haven't talked to him just through like messages, but I don't know if he unstowed the brakes on. I can't really tell. It looks like he might have unstowed the brakes on both.
yeah. It's too far away. I don't know. I can't.
Yeah.
And it's hard
I
for me to see
screen
when you're
recorded
sharing your
it and
screen.
then yeah, I screen recorded it and then zoomed in and then I could see him steering with toggles. I'm
Yeah,
like, dude,
that's no good. No.
no bueno, bro. No
So
bueno.
for the strictly the listeners and not those looking at the video, you need to go look at the video. This is the first time I've actually seen
A two out.
somebody that I've interacted with a 2 out. Like it's the first time I've seen other videos of it, but it's the first time that it's like been this close. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, well, it doesn't usually happen
that's our
very
drop
often
zone.
because
That's a guy that we know. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's usually I think most common scenarios are altitude, loss of altitude awareness. You know, students.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and then I've seen some like, how can you not see the ground rush? Like, do you see how big the ground's getting? What are you? And then
Well,
they
you
pull their
know,
parachute, but by the time the main comes out, the RSLs are or the AAD's already fired.
Yeah.
They cut your closing lip on your reserve, and now you have a two. They got a two out.
Or you lose altitude awareness from your um, decision altitude versus your hard deck, which is something we're going to talk
Oh,
about.
yeah.
Oh, a little
Segue.
bit. A little
But yeah,
sneak
usually that's the
preview.
reason why it's loss of altitude awareness,
Yeah.
or it's happened when people are swooping and don't change their
AAD
AAD
settings.
settings,
Yeah.
so they have a fire.
So I had, like I said, I did get 2 jumps that day. They were both kind of shit shows, but it was still fun. So the first one, it was a 4-way, and we had 2 floaters, and Rick Lieb, the older
Rick
gentleman,
Lieb. Yep.
Rick Lieb,
Rick Lieb.
and then he was diving out, and then I was diving out after him. So I was the last one out of the plane, and the 2 floaters go, and Rick goes, and I slipped, dude. I fucking slipped in the door. So like, I caught myself before I actually fell out of the airplane,
Oh,
and then I like,
wow.
I know I should have, but like I caught myself and I reset, and then I went, and I was just way too late. Like I didn't get to him at all.
How do you not catch up to them?
It was like 4 seconds later, man. Like
So?
I tried so hard,
You fall pretty quick.
dude. But they were so far away because
Oh,
you know,
dude, you
like,
should have just meat missiled.
dude, I tried. I tried.
Should have point braked it, bro. Like, you
I
got
just
4 minutes.
I just watched the remake, the Point Break
I never
remake
watched
a
it.
couple
I
days
heard it
ago.
was horrible, and I didn't want to
It
watch
is.
the
It's
remake
so
because
bad.
I liked the first one so much.
Yeah, it's so bad. It's really
Yeah.
bad.
No thanks.
But yeah. So anyways, like I didn't get to him, and like I was tracking like as hard as I could, like cupping my chest and like legs super straight, arms straight back, just like trying as hard as I could, and like
Yards
I just
pelvis.
I wasn't I wasn't closing the distance like hardly at all, and so I stopped. I stopped, and they were drifting away from me.
Oh yeah. Who was it?
So, like-
It was.
It was Anthony, some guy I don't know, Rick, and myself.
Yeah.
But they all got together. But once I stopped tracking, I realized they're drifting away from me. Like I was closing the gap, but not fast enough. You know what I mean?
Really cook, man.
Yeah. So I
They
just
got together and you still couldn't catch them?
no, I couldn't catch them.
I don't think you were tracking hard enough, dude.
I don't know. I felt like I was
They
tracking
should've-
pretty
once
hard.
they got together, they should have slowed way down.
I don't know. I
Like,
couldn't
you
get
should've
there.
You should have rocketed right by them.
I
Once they get together, that's more
right.
area.
Yeah, resistance.
It's
Yeah.
more,
Well,
surface area.
I couldn't get to him. That's all I have.
Well,
And
you
then
would
we
have never caught Bodie, and you would have just went in. You would have never caught Bodie and made him pull the chute. And
yeah, no, wouldn't have got him. That's only one guy though. I could catch one
Bodie
guy.
gets away.
Well, I don't know. No, he'd be faster. I don't know. Anyway, we got to the ground. They're all like, "Dude, what happened to you? We like saw you." Like
Fell down.
all of
I
them
fell
saw
down in the
me,
plane.
and they were like, what was going on? I was like, I slipped. I couldn't get to you. And then the second jump was actually kind of fun. It was a shit show, but it was cool. It was also a 4-way, 2 floaters, but we were doing a linked exit. So I was holding on to
Who
their.
was it?
Again, it was myself and Anthony in the plane. Who was floating? The same guy from the first jump that I don't know. And
Probably know these people. You should probably
Someone
know
else.
the people that you're jumping with.
someone else. I can't remember.
That's a
I'm so
that's
bad
a
with names, dude.
recommendation.
Dude, I didn't know your name until I saw it on Facebook. Like, I'm so bad with names. Like, I'm awful. Horrible.
Yeah.
So anyways.
Well, you should at least when you're getting on a jump like that, you should at least like, hey man, what's up? I'm Brian. How many jumps do you have? How long you been jumping? Rick Lieb's been jumping forever and got a ton of jumps.
Yeah, he does.
but he's not the greatest flyer, I would say. Right?
Well, he's also,
He's also old.
yeah, you know,
But I
he's
mean,
probably more cautious.
yeah, no, I'm just saying. So I'm just saying, like the guy you don't know, you don't know anything about him. How many jumps does he have? How long has he been jumping?
Well, I know he has more than me. Like uh, I don't remember exactly what he said, but more than me, like like significantly more.
Yeah. There's no
So,
possible
anyways,
way that
we
jump could go bad.
no, so we exit out of the plane, and I'm holding on to their two chest straps, and Anthony dives after me, right? Like after we go out,
Yeah.
and the whole like nothing is stable whatsoever. So like we
You just,
finally
you just
get
blew the exit.
yeah, we finally get to where like I can let go of the chest straps and like grab their arms, but we're just spinning, just like shredding. Like and for the first not the first time, but like one of the first times, I'm like, wait, I know what to do. So like I drop my
Drop the
opposite knee
knee.
and yeah, and we slow
Yeah.
down. We slow down,
Nice
but
work.
we're still spinning. Like my knee is not enough to stop us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Everybody's got to be
And
on the same page, man.
yeah, I know. But it was really cool because it was like one of the first times where I was like, wait a minute, I can do something here.
Oh
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I can help stable this out.
Yeah. But anyways, we ended up breaking apart, and when we broke apart, I ended up on my back. And while I was on my back, one of the guys in the three-way formation that we just broke apart was like, I don't know, 15, 20 feet above me. So I was like, I'm just gonna stay on my back and fly with this guy. So
Yeah.
I stayed on my back and I flew with him, and I don't know, for maybe 7 or 8 seconds. Like it felt like a really long time, but it probably
Yeah.
wasn't, you know. And then he went off somewhere, and I got back on my belly, and I looked at my altimeter, and I was like, "Man, we're still at 6,000." I got back on
Yeah.
my back, and like
Yeah,
a
what was going on?
tractor out on my back, and like it was just really cool because that was the first time that
Yeah,
I've
another
messed
difference from a
around.
different perspective.
I've messed around with back flying a little bit. Like I can get on
Without
my back
anybody
and be
else in the
stable,
vicinity.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that was the first time where I was on my back, and it was an accident. Like I didn't intend to be on my back, but I was on my back, and I
Sometimes I
made
feel
it.
like this is why they should let people with 100 jumps have cameras so we can watch shit like this.
I'm sure it looked awful. I'm sure it looked horrible,
I know,
but
that's why I want to see the video.
it felt really good, you know. And
Yeah.
so I'm on my back, and I see this guy, and like I have the awareness to be
Is that
like,
the guy
wait,
that you don't know?
yes,
Even better, man. Yeah.
yes, and like I'm on my back, and I have the awareness, like the thought to be like, wait, I can stay here, like I have the skill
Do whatever you want, man. You got your
to do
license.
this.
Do
Well,
whatever you
yeah,
want.
but like I have the skill to be able to do this. Like I can stay
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
and fly with this guy on my back, and that's what I did, and it was super cool. It was like, just finally these thought processes are coming together. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's not
It's not.
anymore where
Yeah,
I'm
you're
like,
not.
oh shit,
You're.
like you know what I mean? It's like, oh wait, I know what to do now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's progression, man. You just,
And it's just like super
your
cool. Like I
brain,
love it.
yeah, your brain, your subconscious, or just some eventually will just take over, you know?
Yeah. And actually that dude, when we got on the ground, we went back to the fun jumper hangar and we were packing. I got in there before him. He came in, he was like, dude, that was so cool.
It's fun, man. I like backtracking, like doing
Yeah.
tracking jumps and tracking on my back. It's fun.
Yeah. He was like, we totally screwed that jump up, but man, that was so cool.
Yeah. Sometimes the zoo jumps are the best.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of like that one jump that you and I did where I was tracking away and I looked over to my right and there you are. And I was like,
Yeah, I wanted
what
to
the,
film your deployment. You
what the
kept
hell
trying
is
to,
going
you were
on?
trying to get away, and I'm like,
I
you
know.
looked over, and I gotta look at the video again because you were like, what the fuck? I'm like,
Well, yeah, you're not supposed to be there.
that was fun. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was
Like, I'm just gonna track with Brian. He'll probably not
surprising.
even know it.
Well, at least I'm very observant.
Yeah.
Like I look
Oh,
around.
that's as you progress, your brain becomes less full throttle, holy shit mode to like
Yeah,
you're aware and you
yeah,
remember what's going on. You know,
yeah,
you remember how the jump went, who was where,
yeah,
what happened at what point.
yeah. So that was a good way to end the year. I think. Like that was fun. That was. I wish it was on video too, because that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Well, there's still other drop zones all
Well,
year
yeah.
long.
So at Orange, uh, I was kind of expecting you to just do your uh, do your tracking thing, and I'd probably just do a bunch of solo jumps. But
I don't know, man. Like
if you get what you
the
want, then we
best.
can jump together.
Yeah, I think I will. I don't think I have a problem. Like, I wasn't really focused on glide ratio so much as just flying where I wanted, playing around with angle, you know. Because once you're in your track, right, and you want to go steep to get speed, you kind of gotta lean into it, sort of, right? Because two
Yeah,
piece, you're kind of like this, right? And
de-arched.
if you want to get speed, you don't like you don't bend or anything. Your whole body, you just kind of lean forward. It's like if you're standing up and I say fall forward, it's kind of like a trust fall. It's really
Okay.
weird. You just got next time you're tracking, just lean forward, but in the same body position,
Is that what
and
they
you'll
refer
feel it.
to
You'll
as
be like,
like? Is that what they're talking about, like angle flying?
yeah, sort of, yeah. But once you get that speed up, you can flatten out a little bit and then use that velocity as
Yeah,
lift.
yeah, I got you.
But I was just kind of playing around. I haven't really done a full on like, all right, I want to get the best glide ratio I can out of this two piece. Even playing around, I got like a .9 something glide ratio. I think a good average track glide ratio is 1.1 to 1.3, and if you're real good, maybe you get a 2.1, 2 to 1 glide ratio.
Well, that's a lot more than a 1.1 or a 1.3. That's a whole
Yeah, I mean,
seven tenths more.
you're approaching beginner wingsuit glide ratios
Yeah,
at
yeah,
2 to 1. You
yeah.
know, so anybody that doesn't know what the glide ratio is, it's every foot that you fall compared to every foot that you move horizontally. So if you got a 1 to 1 glide ratio,
Basically
from
45
10,000 feet,
degrees.
if you're full on glide 1 to 1, you're going to go 10,000 feet vertically and 10,000 feet horizontally equally,
Right.
that's what, 2 miles,
Yeah,
on track,
yeah.
something like that,
A little less, but yeah.
Yeah, but still. So the guys that can do like, I'll see. I'm gonna see if I can find some fly site data because I dug some up online that some guys are doing 1.4 or 5 or something ridiculous.
So one to one, is that considered like good? Like that's a good glide ratio?
That's a good safe glide ratio. Yeah, that's gonna get you like for base like what I'm gonna do in Brazil. You want at least a 1 to 1, 1 to 1 to 1 to 3. So you want to
One
get
to
in your track.
one to 1 to 3.
That's what Scotty told me to aim for. 1.1, excuse me, 1.1 to 1.3 glide ratio.
Oh, okay. So well, okay. So there's a big difference from 1 to 1 to 1 to 3,
Yeah,
which is what I thought you said. So like 1 to 1 to 1 to 1.3.
no, a 1 to 1 glide ratio or a 1 to 3, I think is what he said.
Well, one to
Regardless.
three would be for every 1 foot that you fall, you travel
Exactly.
horizontally three
Yes.
feet.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
so that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
the
All right.
1.3 to 1.1 is the range that you kind of want. He's telling me that I should shoot for, which I don't think I'm going to have a problem at all hitting. Like,
Okay.
because I've been more focused on getting out, getting into my track, and then instead of just turning it on straight out of the plane, you know, I always have to turn off jump run, so you don't track
Right.
up jump run.
Yeah, if you're tracking, yeah, yeah.
So, I'm losing a little altitude there. And then I'll track perpendicular to jump run. And then by that time, I got to start turning around to come back to make it back to the
Right.
LZ, right? So if I
Yeah.
just, yeah, so down there, I'm probably just going to get out, get in the track, turn left, and just see how hard I can go. And
Dude, so you just reminded me of something. Earlier today, you and I were kind of texting about digital logbooks,
yes,
and we were talking about it's called Skydive Logger,
yeah.
which is a digital logbook that like tracks stuff automatically for you, or at least it's supposed to. I haven't tried it yet. You haven't tried it yet, but we're gonna try it.
Hmm.
But one of the things that it does, if you have an Apple Watch, it, I guess, syncs to your Apple Watch somehow, and it gives you directions back to the drop zone. So like if you're a wingsuiter
Eh,
or whatever, like if you're just doing like a movement jump or a tracking jump or whatever, and you're flying and you got your phone in your jumpsuit and you got an Apple Watch on, it will give you a heading back to the drop zone apparently.
that seems a
Like,
little distractive.
well, I agree, but I think it might be super cool to try. Like,
Wow, yeah. I feel like that's a novelty sort of thing. Like you should be able to know your way back to the drop zone.
well, you should just be able to look down and see it.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
you're high
technically.
enough that you should be able to see where you're going. But I thought that was kind of neat, just like a neat, like you said, novelty. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
a neat little add-on
yeah.
to the app.
But how about those 3D maps? Did you like look
I
at the
haven't looked
3D
at it
maps in
yet.
it? You
I
haven't?
haven't looked at it. No,
So
my fly site will chart a map like from exit
yeah,
to deployment, and then my whole canopy flight back and everything.
yeah, it's probably very much like that. But let me just so if you go in and they have like demo jumps to show you like what it looks like. So I don't know, can you see that? Like the red is the jump
Yeah.
itself, and then the yellow is the canopy stuff.
Yep.
So if you turn that to a 3D jump,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
you can. It shows you
Geographic
your, yeah, like
geography.
what happens during free fall, and then what you do under canopy.
So where do
So
you go
like,
for that? Go into settings, demo. Where's this?
no, no, no. Go to logbook,
Okay.
like right when you open it,
Yeah.
down at the bottom, logbook.
Oh, demo jump one, demo jump two.
Yeah, and then when you're in there, go down to the first, like it's showing like
Maps.
yeah,
Apple Maps.
yep. And you
Okay. Then you
click on
click
that,
3D.
and then click 3D, and it, like when
Oh
you
shit. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you can like turn it the whole way
jump,
around. Yeah, that is kind of cool.
yeah, it's
Hell yeah.
literally a 3D map to like show what you did. So if you're doing a tracking jump or something, it'll show that. Or if
Does
you're
this
doing a
work off
wingsuit jump,
GPS?
yeah,
That's pretty cool. At least it shows your flight path and stuff, but I don't think it gives you like.
no,
Well, well,
if
it
you
gives you vertical
yeah,
speed,
yeah, if you
altitude,
scroll down, it shows all that
free
stuff, dude.
fly, free fall speed,
Yeah,
vertical, horizontal,
yeah, V
G
speeds, free
force.
fall forces. Yep. Like
I'll have to, yeah,
isn't that
man.
essentially what FlySight is? Isn't that what
Nah,
FlySight
FlySight
gives
does
you?
so much more.
Oh, does it? Okay.
FlySight does like vertical acceleration, horizontal acceleration, glide ratio, altitude, a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay.
Let me pull-
All right.
Um, Yeah,
But
you can
you got to admit,
do
that's
your
pretty
dive
cool for a
angle.
free.
Yeah, like
Like,
it captures your dive angle, total speed, parallel acceleration, perpendicular acceleration, total acceleration,
yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
I
Yeah.
think it'll be interesting to compare that to like my altimeter, and see
Yeah, no, yeah, I want to.
how
Yeah,
that
I'm
like
interested actually now to jump with my phone on my watch and have the app
see what
track
happens.
it, and then
Yeah.
compare it to the fly site and see how accurate it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
Ian Garnett would ever get his shit done, we could,
Dude,
you know, play with his too.
I know. I'm really excited for that. He's also doing a tracker like for cutting away. Like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean that it also. I think it. I don't know. You know what? I haven't talked to him in that depth about it. I don't know if it tracks like your jump progress, like as you're descending as
Yeah, I
well
don't
for
know
speed
either.
locator.
That is something that I want to we should talk about too. Or like people have like dog trackers on their risers or whatever for like if they cut away they
Some
can find their
people put on
name.
air tags.
Yeah. There's a thing called a tile, and they have like this little tiny tracker
Yeah.
thing. And from what I understand, I haven't looked super far into it, but from what I understand, you can connect it to like the Life 360 app, and you can track it anywhere. It doesn't have to be near other phones,
Or
it
Wi-Fi or anything.
or Wi-Fi or anything. You should be able to just track it.
Huh.
So like,
I know when Tile first came out, it had to be within. It would connect to any Wi-Fi and give you its location.
right, but I think now, from from what I understand, I could be wrong, but from what I
Tile
understand,
personal safety device.
no, just go to tile.com.
Yeah, Tile.com.
And
Sorry.
then like they have these little things. You could literally just put it on your riser with some duct tape. You know what I mean? Like I'm serious.
Duct
Like you
tape,
could.
baby.
Yeah, just wrap a piece of duct tape around it and it'd be on there.
Yeah,
And
Bluetooth trackers, lost and found labels, Tile Premium, Life 360.
I think it's called a tile sticker. But like you pair it with your Life 360 app and apparently you can track it anywhere. I don't know if yeah. I don't know if it
Simple process.
requires a subscription or not, but like
Ring your phone with your Tile Bluetooth tracker even when it's on silent, blah, blah, blah. Attach Tiles Everyday Essentials bikes.
yeah, that tile sticker is what I'm talking about. Like no,
Where?
yep, right there. Like right
This
no,
one?
right, yeah.
Um, even when silenced, let's see how it works.
Yeah, and it's got like a little speaker on it so you can make it make noise and stuff.
I just wanted to give me the product description and the specs. 3-year battery life, 250-foot range.
Maybe
Life
maybe 250
360, but
feet is
it
the
sounds
thing.
like as long as you're within
With
250 feet of your, yeah, 76 meters.
that's still pretty far. Like that's further than like a AirTag. You know what I mean?
250 feet?
Yeah, your AirTag won't pick up 250 feet away.
Yeah. Yeah, also the AirTag works off of other people's iPhones
Other
too.
phones, yeah.
Yeah.
But where we jump,
That's how Tile works too.
well, like where
So I
we
thought,
jump, you're gonna lose your canopy in the woods somewhere. There aren't gonna be iPhones around it. You know what I mean?
yeah. Travis, when he had his cutaway, that one that I showed a couple weeks ago,
He used,
he uh, he lost his phone
yeah,
on that cutaway.
yes,
He used the son's
yes,
phone with the Life 360 app and got him within like
two or
5
three
feet of
feet.
it, and he
Yeah,
found
yeah,
it.
it was like super
He
close.
found his
Yeah,
phone. I'm like, how the what?
and it was fine.
Yeah, I
Like his
know
phone was
it's
fine.
nuts. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was like, holy shit, that's insane.
yeah. So,
That's crazy.
we're 40 minutes in and we've just been bullshitting the whole time.
Yeah, I know. You wanted to talk about decision altitude
EPs.
versus cutaway hard deck, right?
Well, EPs in general, but yes, the USPA had a good article. Oh, you just brought it up. All right.
Yeah, man.
about the difference between decision altitude and a cutaway hard deck. And even in this article, they're talking about a pretty experienced jumper, 1,200 jumps or so, who lost track of that. He didn't know, or maybe in the moment was confused or something. But if scroll down a little bit, let me read their definition of
Yeah, so basically, this is saying like he
yeah, right there.
lost altitude awareness, found himself under malfunctioning canopy at 2,100 feet.
Yeah. So,
So
well, before we talk about this, let's define the terms. So, one of the paragraphs here it says the important takeaway is that decision altitude is the height at which a jumper should decide upon and take emergency actions. But a jumper does not lose the option to cutaway until they reach their cutaway hard deck. The
correct.
cutaway hard deck is the altitude at which you lose the option to cut away. At that point, the only option for a jumper is to activate the reserve and get more fabric over their head to slow to survive to slow to a survivable descent
And
rate.
recommend
So
recommendably that is 1,000 feet. You're
yes,
never going to cut away below 1,000 feet unless
right.
you have a down plane. That's the only time you'll ever cut away under 1,000 feet or under.
Why is that?
Why?
Yeah, why?
Because you got two canopies at like this, and you're suspended in the middle, and it's twisting you like this, and it's accelerating
Gotcha.
you towards the
Okay.
ground.
All right.
So you
Okay.
cut your main away.
It's making you go faster. Like
Exactly.
the extra fabric doesn't help.
Yeah, that's the bad scenario. That's
right.
a down plane is the only malfunction that you will ever cut away under 1,000 feet. Other than that, if you hit 1,000 feet and you haven't cut away yet, you better just pull your reserve to get as much fabric over your head as possible.
Yeah. So basically what this is saying, and I'll admit, like I'm a new jumper. I've only got a handful over 100 jumps. It was probably around 50 or 60 jumps where I really understood this concept. Like I don't think this is taught enough. It's definitely mentioned, and like obviously it's in the sim, and like it's definitely mentioned.
Yeah,
But so like when we had the episode about malfunctions, we talked about a decision altitude. Mine's
yeah,
2,500 feet. You said yours is 2,500 feet,
yeah,
right?
pretty much.
So
Yeah,
so what
depending on
does
the
that
malfunction,
actually?
right?
Yeah. Well, yes, exactly. So what does that actually mean? To me, what that means is I usually pull at 4,000 feet. So,
Pussy.
dude,
I'm just kidding. I pull like 445 when I'm wingsuiting and stuff. Just
yeah.
'cause, yeah,
So I was pulling at
kidding.
35, and
Yeah.
I did some like coach jumps at Cleveland, and one of the guys there was like, "Why are you pulling at 35?" And this is when I was like at like 60 or 70 jumps, and I was like, "Well, I used to pull at four, but I did some four-way jumps, and people were pulling at 3.5, and I know I'm allowed to pull at 3.5, so I just started pulling at 3.5." And he was like, "Have you had a malfunction yet?" And I was like, "No." "Have you had to cut away?" Like, "No." He's like, "You shouldn't be pulling at 3.5. Like, you should be pulling at four. Like, you don't have enough jumps. Like, pull at four." Conservative, which
Yeah. I
I
mean,
appreciate. Like, I'm fine with that.
yeah. There's nothing wrong with taking somebody else's opinion or advice,
Yeah,
especially if they're more experienced, right?
yeah. So I pull at four. So what that means to me, my decision altitude is 2,500 feet. So what that means is when I pull at 4,000 feet, and if I have a malfunction and I can't clear it or fix it or whatever, when I hit 2,500 feet, I'm cutting away and I'm getting my reserve out.
Yep. That's what decision altitude means. And
Yes,
that can be different for everybody, right?
it
Deployment
can.
altitude is 2,500 no matter what license you have.
Right.
You can get a BSR waiver for 2,000 feet, I believe, for a D license, but you got to have a pretty damn good reason for it.
I think
Like you're
that's up
not
for
just gonna,
like demo jumps and stuff, right? They only do that
yeah,
for like demo
probably,
jumps.
probably
Yeah.
demos, stuff like that, and but you got to get a waiver. Does everybody do that? I don't know, probably not.
I don't know.
But 2,500 is when you should be. That's like the lowest anybody's allowed per USPA to deploy.
To deploy.
You know, whether you're A license,
Yeah.
D license, it doesn't matter. 2,500 feet.
And then so the cutaway hard deck is mine is 1,000 feet, and that is the altitude at which I can no longer get rid of my reserve canopy. So I'm sorry, yes, my main. Yeah. So what that means is the only way that I can get to 1,000 feet and still have my main
Just because you fucked up, dude.
is if I lost altitude awareness.
Yeah, that's
Like
all.
that is
That's all there is
that's
to it.
the only way that that can happen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I mean, it's your. I mean, you're in control, dude. The gear works. The gear's
yeah,
been tested. All the gear works. It's 99.9999% user error. It's a situation like almost any
yeah.
situation like that. If you get to a
So
1,000 feet and you still don't have a good fucking canopy over your head, well, you decided to do that. You know, that was your
exactly.
decision. Whatever altitude you decided to deploy at, that was your decision. Whatever your decision altitude, that was your decision. You know, and if you lost altitude awareness dicking around with spinning line twists because you thought you could slow it down when you deployed at 2,500 feet, and then you look and you're at, you know, then that's your fault.
Spinning line
You
twist
know.
is always a cutaway. Like that's always a cutaway.
Yeah, I mean, I've had two in wingsuit, two spinning line twists and wingsuits, and then the only other cutaway I ever had was a partial canopy collapse, and it spun me into line twists, and it was spinning, and I had my head pinned forward, and
Right.
I looked, and I think I was at like 1,500 feet, and I was like, I can't, I'm not landing this,
Yeah.
so
So so
or else I'd have
let's
never
talk
cut away that low.
let's talk about a scenario. So I'm jumping. I pitch at 4,000 like I usually do, and I have what's a fixable malfunction? I have a line
I don't
over.
know, you know, slide or stuck or
No, like I have a line over. Something that like I've got to like work to fix. Like it can be fixed. Maybe it'll be fixed. Maybe it won't be fixed. But like you should try, right?
your
So
streamer. Yeah, you're right. Some reason this slider stuck up there, and it's basically your canopy's up there, but it's only like open this much, right?
yeah,
It's just streaming. It's
yeah,
got you. It now has you vertical, you
right.
know, but it's
But
you're just towing it down.
you're still falling real fast.
There's a chance you could fix that.
Yeah.
You never
Okay.
know.
So all right. So let's say I have a streamer, not line over. I got a streamer.
Even both both scenarios are still relevant to what you know, relevant to what you're about to, you know,
All right. Well, let's pick one. Which one do you want?
doesn't matter.
All right.
They're
Let's
both
do
going to
this.
have the same outcome. I see which direction you're going.
Yeah. Well, I think line over is more appropriate for what I'm trying to do.
Well, first of all, if you get a line over, you packed it.
Yes.
Period.
Yeah. Yeah. You messed that up. You messed that up. And honestly, you probably messed that up by not leaving enough extra line in the bottom of your container, right? Yeah, that extra line is too short, and that's what's
It
going
could
to
be for
cause
a
you to get
number
a
of
line over.
reasons, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. You're taking away
So
my thunder, but that is one of
no,
the
go ahead.
reasons.
No, go ahead. Yeah, no,
That that is one of the reasons.
you are correct.
Okay. All right. So you got a line over. It can be fixed. It doesn't always fix it. Like you can't always fix it, but it can be fixed. So I'm under my canopy at say I pulled at 4. I'm at like 3,200 feet, and I got this line over, and I'm looking up, and I'm like, okay, I need to fix this. So I'm assessing like which riser, front or rear, right or left, do I need to snap a whole bunch of times, try to get this thing to fix itself. And I'm getting fixated. Like I'm just trying and trying and trying to fix this line over, and it's not working, it's not working, it's not working. But I know it can work. I know it can work. I know it can work, and I'm trying and I'm trying and I'm not paying
What do they
attention.
teach you in AFF? Do you remember?
Try twice.
Two times
2 times
or
and EPs.
2,500 feet, right?
Yeah, yeah, and
If you
EPs.
can't clear it by the time, if you know, you're approaching 2,500, try twice or 2,500 feet,
Yeah.
you cut away. Now, if you
But
deploy it like 5,500 and, you know, have you know, slow spinning line over and you're not losing shit tons of altitude and accelerating speeds, then maybe you can try 3 or 4 times. But the rule of thumb is two
try
times
twice. Yeah.
or 2,500 feet.
But say I'm this guy in the article with 1,200 jumps, and you know I lose my fucking mind, and I'm like, I know I can fix this. I can fix this. I can fix this. I just bought this canopy. It's brand new. I just spent $3,000 on this thing. It's the third jump. I'm not going to cut this thing away and lose it. Right? Like, you know, people lose their fucking minds sometimes. So, you know, I'm jumping this thing. I'm like, I can fix it. I can fix it. I can fix it. All of a sudden, I'm at 2,500 feet, but I've lost altitude awareness. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, I can fix it. I can fix it. I can fix it. And then you get to 1,000 feet, and you're like, I can fix it. I can fix it. And then, so like, what do? You pull your
So at
reserve,
that point, you pull your reserve.
get another
That's what I
canopy
can't.
out, and hope to land it. But like, I think that that's a scenario that like everybody can at least visualize if they haven't experienced
It's
it.
happened to experienced guys. I won't say the person's name, but years ago when I was jumping regularly, I was fairly a new jumper. Not, I think I had my AFFI at the time, so I was at least 300 some jumps in. But there's a very experienced TI, skydive PA, who was jumping a small high performance canopy and went on a jump and deployed and basically had a streamer and lost altitude awareness, trying to fix it, and then realized where he was like, oh shit. But by the time he went to cut away, the AAD had already fired,
Ah,
and he opened up, and it's like, I'm not bullshitting you, man. The reserve opened up, boom, slowed down, landed. Like,
he was good.
probably as close as you could get with a skydiving canopy reserve to not hitting it like line stretch. You know,
Wow,
like, yeah,
like he was good.
yeah, yeah,
Wow,
yeah, yep.
wow,
Luckily, the AAD fired and you know got his reserve
yeah,
out and it was like land.
yeah. So even like, so your AAD,
I'm paraphrasing too. That was so many years
yeah,
ago. That's how I remember it. But I do know for a fact that he pissed around with it for way too long,
right.
and that's what causes AAD to fire.
And that's exactly what we're talking about. Like, don't fuck around with it. Like,
Yeah.
try to fix it. Try to fix it again. If it doesn't work, get rid of it.
Well,
Get your
luckily
reserve
he
out.
got his main cut away, like as the AAD was firing.
Oh, he did cut it away.
Yeah, that's what
So
I'm saying. Like
he was.
he was like, oh shit. Like, so
Yeah, but
that's
it
sort
was
of what we're
still way
talking
too
about
late.
here in this article, right? Is,
Yeah.
you know, a very experienced jumper. What's really your hard deck? What's really your decision altitude? Also depends on what kind of canopy and gear you're jumping, right? You don't expect
Why? Why? So like,
because you're not gonna get a 93 square foot Valkyrie is not gonna that's gonna fall and fly so much faster than a 220 pilot malfunction.
well, yeah, but the altitudes are the same.
Yeah, but the speed is way different. You have 1/3 of the or 1/6 of the fabric above your head.
Right. But why should that change your decision altitude and your cutaway hard deck? Now,
It shouldn't,
granted,
but I'm just saying you should be experienced enough to know that, hey,
it's going to go a lot faster.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. All right. I get what you're
Yeah.
saying.
So
Yeah.
he was lucky enough that when he realized like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. Like it's not just a malfunction. Like as he cut away, the AAD fired and opened his reserve,
Yeah.
and
All right.
it's the smaller canopy, so it didn't. I don't remember what it was, but it did. It didn't open super fast.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So for this part of the discussion, because there is one more thing that I want to talk about. For this part of the discussion, jumpers new and experienced, your decision altitude. That is the altitude at which you have decided for yourself that if you do not have a good canopy above your head, you're going to cut away and get a reserve out.
Yeah.
And
It's you no longer have the option. Like you have. That's when you decide. Okay, can I land this? Yes or no.
right.
And if you can't, EPs, man.
And so for me as a B licensed jumper, that's 2,500 feet.
Yeah.
And I think you
That's always going to be it for me, dude.
okay. Yeah, and I agree with you. I think that
And
that's
why push it
why.
any
Yeah,
lower?
yeah. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. So
Unless it's say it's line twists, but you're flying straight. And
there's
you're at
there's
2,400.
always an
You're at
exception.
2,400 feet. How many line twists do you have? Can you kick out? How small is your canopy?
Right.
What's your
Right.
descent rate?
Well, that's why in the episode when we were talking about malfunctions, I was like, "Oh, line twist. It's technically a malfunction, but yeah, not really.
Well, I mean,
Kick out of it, and it's a low
also
speed
just
malfunction. It's defined as a low speed malfunction, but like it's
well,
really
depends what
easy
size
to
canopy
fix.
you're flying too, though, too, right?
Yeah.
A 220 is
Yeah.
going to be flying and descending a lot slower, even if you're in line twist, than a you know
Yeah. Well,
100 square foot canopy.
but that doesn't mean that it's more or less difficult to fix. That just means
No, I'm just
you have
saying,
less
like,
time. It just means you have less time.
Exactly.
So
That's what I'm saying.
yeah, yeah. It doesn't that doesn't change anything that we're talking about. It just changes
No.
the amount of time. The
But
altitudes
I'm
are still the
saying some
same.
people
Decisions are
probably
still the
get
same.
Yeah, but I think some people might get the concept mixed up, right? Like, hey, this is my decision altitude at when I was flying a 200 some square foot canopy, but now they're jumping something smaller, so they're moving faster, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I'm saying you got to be more. You just got to be aware of what your descent rate is, regardless of what your decision altitude is,
Yeah.
right? What
Yeah.
took you 3 seconds to assess, or 4 seconds to assess when you had 200 plus square feet of canopy over your head, now you're going to have to assess that in half the time because your descent rate is a lot faster.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah. That
your
makes sense.
decision altitude or your hard deck changes, but you got to be aware of that factor of
How quickly you're going to get there.
exactly
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
fast do I have to analyze what I'm going to do and how am I going to do it.
Yeah. So the actual emergency procedures, everyone knows, cutaway, reserve handle, right? But there are a couple different ways to do that. So the way that I was taught, and I don't know if it's the same as the way that you were taught when you did AFF, but the way that I was taught was
Two-handed.
two-handed, but there's like a whole process to it.
Yeah, look red, grab red. Look silver, pull red, grab silver, pull silver, arch.
Yes.
That's basically the mantra for a student or a newer jumper
Yeah.
to practice for emergency procedures.
Yep. So the way that I was taught is essentially the same procedure, but it's a different way to
Mantra.
say it. So you look, grab your cutaway handle, look at your reserve handle, pull your cutaway handle, grab your reserve handle, and pull it. So it's look, pull, grab, pull.
Yeah, a lot of people started. So now a lot of people have started teaching. You got to out. Kind of up and then out, right?
Yeah.
Because you got to get that Velcro to release.
Yeah.
If you just try to pull straight down on your cutaway, if your Velcro is really new and really good, it might be a little bit
It's
tougher
not going to work.
get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you gotta-
hey,
Peel, pull.
Get rid of your screen sharing because it's gonna
Oh,
mess up the
sorry.
video. Yeah, it's been there for a
Sorry,
long time.
folks.
That's all right. We're still learning. It's only the seventh episode. It's all right.
Always learning.
Yeah, that article. Everybody had
Yeah,
a
we learn
really, really long time to read that article that was sitting there, so it's fine. Everybody's good. But yeah, so when you had that recent cutaway in your wingsuit, did you pull with both hands on each handle? So I don't think that I would either. I think I would do one and one.
Can I give you a good reason why? No, that's just I had practiced that way so much that it was just instinctual, right?
Yeah.
I always, you got to make sure that you pull in sequence.
Right.
Pull out of sequence, you're going to be in trouble.
So like even
No, I
even
always
in the
make sure peel, pull, and as soon as I know that it's clear, then I'll pull
Yeah.
my reserve, right?
so even in the plane, and I'm sure you've seen this, like I touch my handles all the time. Like I even apologize to the person
Myself all the time too.
sitting behind me because I'm like, I'm not trying to grab your nuts. I'm just touching my pilot chute. Like I'm just touching my hacky. I do it all the time.
That's the hey man, that's a good habit.
So, but what I do, and then right before, I don't know, maybe at like 12,000 feet or so, like I'll touch my pilot chute, my cutaway, and then my reserve, and I'll actually do the motion. I'll like grab it, and then I'll let go of it, and I'll peel and pull.
I do too.
And then-
I do. I still do it. Like I'm doing my gear. I start my gear checks at like, depending on how fast the plane we're flying in. If it's the King Air, that's an 18-minute flight. When we get to like 10,000, maybe a little over 10,000, I'm doing my gear check, my last gear checks. Then I touch my hacky. Then
Yeah, that King Air does not take 18 minutes to get up there. It's more
Maybe
like
it's
12 or 13,
12.
bro.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
12 minutes.
It's pretty quick.
It's fast. Yeah.
But so, yeah, like I practice that. I do it a lot. But there's also a part of me that I've never had a malfunction. I've never had to cut away, so I don't know that I would actually do this. I'm sure muscle memory would take over and I would just pull both. But I have an RSL. Like when I cut away, that RSL is gonna pull.
Chances are it's gonna beat you.
It's gonna be faster than me pulling the reserve handle, right?
And you can tell too.
Yeah,
When you get down, and if you happen to still have your handles, and you look at your reserve ripcord, it'll be kinked and stuff from the RSL yanking the pin out.
yeah. So
Like not most of the time, like 90% of the time, it's going to leave your ripcord kinked. It's fine. It's not ruined or anything, but you can tell if you beat the RSL or not.
yeah,
The jump that I had my partial canopy collapse on, I cut away at like 1,500 feet or something, 1,400 feet. Like I went boom, boom.
did you beat it?
Yeah, Mo looked at my cord. He's like, dude, I think you beat the RSL.
Wow.
But you don't want to be too quick either.
Right.
Right.
Then you're gonna, yeah, it's gonna fuck you too.
So that's why I think that's why they teach,
Two hands.
Gives
So
your RSL a chance to.
yeah, I know that there are more experienced jumpers who cut away and then wait a second and be like, "Is my reserve out?" Before before
Most of those
pulling the
guys that are
reserve
doing
handle.
that though are also pulling at higher altitudes. They're not dumping at 2,500 feet. They're
Right.
pulling at 4,000 feet
Yeah,
or
yeah.
more, right?
So
So if they have a malfunction and they decide not to jump an RSL, well, they have to either go right to your reserve or get
yeah,
get
Yeah.
stable if you have enough altitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
would it be stupid of me if on my first malfunction and I have to cut away
To rely on the RSL? Never
For like-
rely on anything, dude.
for like a
these
second.
things are-
just
all these-
just cut away and then be like, "Is it there? Nope. Okay, pull it."
No way, dude.
Nah, just do it.
Why?
Just
Yeah.
both. All right. Well,
Those things
so
are-
so
are-
here's
are
the
backup.
reason. You asked why. So again, I've never done this before, so I'm only imagining what it's like. But I'm thinking, okay, I've got a malfunction. I'm cutting away my main, and so now I've got this handle and these yellow metal cables flopping all over the place in one hand. And now I'm gonna pull my reserve, and then I got this other metal cable flopping in this hand, and
Dude, if
and
it's a
and now
true
and now
emergency
I've got to do
cutaway,
something. Well, like now I've got to do
drop your
something
hand. Who
with
gives a
these.
shit? Drop it.
I don't
No
want to
one
drop
says
it.
there's no rule that says you have to keep your handles, dude, in a malfunction.
Yeah, I know, but I
If
don't
you
want to
do,
drop it.
kudos to you. Like, awesome. Like my last cutaway, I held both handles. Awesome, right? But I think the main thing is get that. You got to make sure that you get your cutaway handle clear too,
Yeah,
because if you don't pull it far enough, you could have a riser hang up.
yeah. Well, that's why people say cut away and then swipe it. Like, make sure you get those
Yeah,
cables out of there. You know.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I mean, there's no reason to wait.
I mean, even just a second. Like, pull it. Is it
Yeah,
there?
why?
Nope. Okay, pull it again. Like,
Why?
no.
Why? Why wait?
It's like a second, because then you have you still have a free hand. Otherwise, you've got like a bunch of shit in your hands, and you're trying to fly, and you got to do something with these handles.
Well, what's the number one priority here?
Not dying.
Exactly. So who gives a shit? Fucking pull that shit, throw it, and then pull your reserve. No reason to wait. Your priority's to live, dude. Get
Yeah,
that
I
shit
don't
above
know.
your head. You know?
Maybe it's just an army thing. We always had to protect like ourselves, our equipment, and like our
Who gives a
unit.
shit
You know what I
about the
mean?
handle?
Like
And
like
on top of that, the
if you
military
if
spends so much money on shit it doesn't matter.
yeah,
They're
I
gonna
know,
buy
but
10,000 of one thing and maybe use two of them.
if you lost that handle, you were getting the
Yeah,
you were getting
that's it, man.
smoked. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to lose
Extra
shit.
PT for you, pal.
Yeah, no kidding. Like like I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
I don't know. Maybe it's
real
an army
world
thing.
skydiving recreational, scenario. Who gives a shit about your handle? Your number one priority is to
No,
live.
I give a shit about my handle. That's the thing. I give a shit about my handle.
Well, you know what? As a
I'm
licensed jumper, you have that decision.
I'm sure in the moment I would feel differently, but like not having not experienced it and knowing myself and my ability to like assess situations and like not freak out and like make I think good decisions. I feel maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like I could cut away, wait just a second, and be like, is it there or not? Nope. Okay, and pull it again. You
You
know what
could,
I mean?
man. Yeah, you're theoretically you could. I mean,
Like,
that's what guys without RSLs do. They cut away, swipe their shit, then they take an extra couple seconds to get stable again, and then they deploy their reserve.
well, not even a couple seconds. Just, is it there or not? Nope, it's not there. Okay, pull it. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
mean, yeah. So that's again, as a licensed jumper, that's a decision for you to make at that time. But for a skydiving podcast that's geared towards beginners and students, your number one priority is to not die.
not
So
die.
just fucking cut that shit away, drop your handle, get to your reserve,
Yeah,
and
and I totally understand the priority is to not die, and I'm very very comfortable and familiar with being in situations where the priority is to not die. So like I get that. I just feel like I don't know. Maybe I'm being an asshole.
no, dude,
I
that's
don't know,
your like
but
I said, as a licensed jumper, that's your decision to make. If you want to just pull your cutaway and make sure everything's cut away first, and if your RSL happens to activate your reserve deployment, then cool.
what do you mean happens to? Isn't it supposed to?
It's well, yeah, it's always supposed to, but is
Yeah.
anything in life guaranteed?
No, but that's why you're like, is it
Death and
there? Nope.
taxes.
Okay, pull it.
That's it.
Like, all right.
Right?
Yeah.
Who says during the jump you weren't free flying or in a five-way fucked up belly situation and somebody swiped their foot or their hand and your RSL got disconnected?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a
That
good
can
point.
happen.
Yeah, that's a good
You
point.
know, somebody's foot could swipe and deploy your reserve.
Yeah.
I've seen very experienced guys at nationals. I was filming 8-way team, and the practice leading up, the guys that were jumping ahead of us, one of his buddies accidentally pulled his reserve ripcord directly out of the plane at 13.5, man.
Oh
Because they were
shit.
all linked and they were going out together, and
Yep.
he somehow accidentally grabbed his buddy's reserve and right out of the plane, boof,
Turned into a high pool, huh?
turned into a high reserve pool,
Yep.
you know? So you
Not
could
seeing
wait.
that free bag
That's what I'm
again.
saying. It's not guaranteed. It's there as a backup.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it going to work if it's hooked up and it's rigged properly? Most likely. But
Well, yeah, it
there's
should.
always
It
there's always
should.
that scenario. Something could malfunction with the RSL. Somebody
Yeah.
could accidentally unhook it.
Yeah.
All kinds of things,
Yeah.
right? Or like Andrew had, his handles were still, everything was still in its
That's
slot.
insane.
So somebody somehow rigged it up. I don't know. I don't know. I can't speculate because I wasn't there and I haven't really talked to anybody about it.
I don't even
All I
understand
know
how
is
that's possible.
all I know is when he said when he deployed his main, the reserve deployed at the same time, and the only thing he can think of is somehow the RSL was either routed incorrectly or something, and as the risers came out of the riser flaps, it pulled the RSL. I don't know how that could
Yeah.
happen because there's supposed to be so much slack there that's
Right.
tucked under the flap and all that good stuff. So
But what, like, I saw in the video, in the canopy. Isn't that the canopy that Anthony usually jumps?
no,
The,
I think
like,
it has. No, I don't think so.
oh,
He
I
had,
thought it
he had
was.
a rig. That's no. He doesn't jump student gear. I don't believe.
Yeah, it does.
Maybe he does. I don't know.
He's
He
been
found his.
rent.
Oh, he found his canopy.
Yeah, I heard that he found it. Yeah, finally.
Yeah.
Is it
Far
still
from it.
airworthy? Like, is it
I
okay?
don't know. He gave it to Ellison or somebody to look
Yeah.
at. So I'm interested to
Yeah.
see if I'll be impressed if it's still like airworthy. It was
Yeah.
out there for like 2 or 3 months
Yeah.
in the elements, just hanging in
Yeah,
the
it's been a
tree.
while. But yeah, no, he's been jumping student gear since he lost because
Yeah, I know.
he's waiting on
Yeah,
canopies to come in. I
yeah.
think
But I
I
don't
think
think
he was
he's
jumping like
jumping
a
a 160. Yeah,
168.
he's jumping a 168. That's definitely not what Andrew was jumping. He was probably jumping the 210 or 220 or something like
Yeah,
that. He's definitely not jumping a 168. There's no way.
I wonder if maybe just the canopies look the same,
That well, he
just
could.
different
A lot
sizes.
of
Yeah,
stock canopies come
yeah,
the same colors,
Yeah.
same pattern.
yeah. There's a guy at Cleveland who has the exact same color scheme as my can. I thought he was packing my rig. I was like, yo, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, when I got my first Saber 2, it was the blue, the blue color, and then I had the two yellow cells, like that were the third cell in or something like that. And like that was like a really common color. So
Yeah.
some bought a stock Saber 2, more than likely you've seen somebody had the same exact color, color canopy as you.
Yeah, yeah. Mine's a 188 and his was a 150.
Yeah.
But exactly the same colors. And I
that's
saw
what they
him.
do.
Yeah, I saw him packing it, and I was like, "Dude, why are you packing my rig?" He's like, "I'm not." I was like, "No, you are." He's like, "No, this is mine, dude." I was
It's
like,
fine, I promise.
"Mine was like."
Mind blowing that somebody has the same color gear as you, huh?
That's the first time I'd ever seen it.
If you look at Jason's Mirage, it's almost identical to mine, the
Gifford.
one I bought. Yeah,
Yeah,
like it's like identical. So mine's a little bit smaller than his,
yeah,
just because they were stock colors.
yeah, yeah,
Like it's not exactly the same, but it's like maybe the trim tapes differ on a couple different spots on the actual rig itself. But other than that, it's like the same exact colors.
yeah. No, ours were exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like I really thought, even the container, like mine's black and red, his was black and red. Yeah, I was like, "Why are you packing? Like, what are you doing, dude?"
Price stock colors, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Most
Yeah.
manufacturers they build stock everything.
Yeah.
Different sizes.
yeah,
Every rig size is manufactured to go up and down a couple canopy size or two and fit somebody that's a little bit heavier, a little bit lighter, a little bit taller, a little bit shorter.
yeah,
So it's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens all the time. Two people have the same exact color gear.
Yeah.
Same container and same canopy. That's probably a little less likely, but
Well, we didn't have the same container, but it was the color
black
scheme
and
was
red, same
very
color.
similar. Yeah, same.
Yeah.
The colors were very similar. Yeah. All right. Well, anyways, I think we could probably call this one
Wrap her
quits. Yeah, we're
Okay,
well
yeah.
over our hour, so we
I
we
better
gave the
focus.
audience
Okay.
plenty for the week.
That's all right. There we go. Now we're in focus. Sorry about that. Nobody watches the videos anyway.
Yeah, I don't want to look at your face, dude.
Nobody wants to look at it. Or you.
Maybe if the weather's good and we do go to Orange, maybe we can do something fun like record like an episode in the car, like on our
Oh
phone,
yeah, man.
like on our phone
Good
or
idea.
something.
I'm just hoping the weather like holds
Yeah,
because this weekend was like Wednesday and Friday were supposed to be pretty good for winds for some base jumps, and like the weekend in the beginning of next week looked shitty, and it just kind of as the week progressed, it just kind of moved up. Like the weekend's weather moved up in the Friday, then the Thursday, and then it's just been windy all week.
yeah.
So I'm hoping it's not the same scenario for Orange, and hopefully it ends up being a nice day.
Well,
At least a half day, so we can get a couple jumps in at least.
yeah. I mean, it'd be nice. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
I know the wife's not thrilled. I guess my in-laws are coming earlier than I thought, so I'll be down there while they're.
that's
I,
all right.
I'm the guy who's always around. Like I'm
Okay.
the reliable
Hey, man,
person.
Listen, you gotta have some fun.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
So, but we're thinking drive down Friday, jump on
Yeah,
Saturday,
Friday
and drive back
sometime.
on Saturday. All right.
Yeah. I'm not planning to spend the whole weekend there, man.
Okay.
Most likely, this late in the season, if both days aren't good, there's usually one day's good, one day's not so good. That's kind of how the last few weeks have gone
Yeah.
for most of the surrounding drop zones, whether it's Air Ohio, Orange, Scott IPA, Cleveland. It's been like, hey, it's pretty good Saturday, Sunday, no good. Or
Right.
Friday's great, Saturday, no good. Sunday, half a day.
Well, as far as Orange goes, I am only good on Saturday. Like,
Oh, that's, yeah, I mean,
yeah, I can't go
It's
on
gonna be
Sunday.
weather.
So,
yeah.
but I mean, obviously you can go on Sunday if you want, but I can't
Yeah,
go
it's
on
going to be
Sunday.
depending on the weather, man. Right?
Yeah. All right. Well,
Fingers crossed.
listeners, by all means, follow us on all the stuff. Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and X.
Beer
I keep wanting to
podcast.
say Twitter, but it's X.
beerpodcast24@gmail.com. Email us, even if to say you guys suck.
Yeah.
Email us. We want an email.
Seriously, nobody emailed us last week, dude. Like
It's the one email.
I thought maybe somebody would email us.
Maybe.
So
Right.
let's do this. The first person that emails us, I don't care what your question is.
Ooh.
I don't care what you want to know. I don't care what you have to say. We will
If you
put.
have a Cookie G4 helmet, I have a used shaded visor for you.
Oh shit! Actually, I'll tell you what. I have a brand new shaded visor for you.
Ooh,
It's
even better.
never been jumped, and I won't use it. I have. So, first person that emails us and asks us a question and comes on the show, you can have my shaded visor, brand new, never jumped,
G4. What size is the helmet?
extra large. So it's
Okay.
for G4 XL.
Yeah, mine's for large.
All right. Well, there
Mine
you
has
go.
a scratch on it though, so yours is a little bit better bargain.
Well, one of the two. If you got a
Still
large,
free. The price is right.
that's right. So large or extra large. Send us an email, ask a question, come on the show, you get a new visor.
Sweet.
All right. Cool. All right, man. Well,
See you next time.
next time, and maybe if we're lucky, we'll have an interesting, like on the road show or something. We'll do something fun. If we go, we'll do something fun.
Yep.
All right.
Cool. Peace out, everyone.
Blue skies.
Later.